In Jonah chapter 3, we see one of the worst sermons ever preached. Jonah walks into Nineveh and says, "Yet 40 days and Nineveh shall be overthrown." And then it appears that he just drops the microphone and walks out of the city. But somehow, God uses that. The people of Nineveh believe God, it says, and they start to fast. They put on this garment called a sackcloth, which was a sign of humility. It was an uncomfortable, unfashionable piece of clothing that people would wear as a sign of their penance, as a sign of their heart desiring or being in mourning or desiring to change. And word of this movement of God reaches the king, who also believes God and responds, and with himself fasting, but says, hey, it's not just about me. We got to get the whole town involved in this. And so he issues a decree that goes out throughout the entire city that calls for everyone and even their animals to fast. He says, let them not feed or drink water, but let man and beast be covered with sackcloth, and let them call out mightily to God. Let everyone turn from his evil way and from the violence that is in his hand. There's a lot here that can be talked about, God's ability to use our feeble attempts at ministry to accomplish his will, for one. But what I really want you to focus on is this decree from the king for everyone to cry out mightily to God. They took this seriously, and so he calls the people and the animals to embrace a fast, to put on sackcloth, and to take this seriously. Now, in their day, animals were their economy, right? And so if their animals aren't being fed well, if they're not being traded, if they're not being slaughtered, then their economy is being shut down. And that's exactly what's happening here. We've taken our society, the world, in most cases, has taken a really hard stance with lockdowns and whatnot to try and get this pandemic under control. Here, we see a different kind of pandemic. They're aware of their own wickedness and sin, and they're taking it seriously. They're shutting the economy down, fasting, crying out mightily to God. The question for us is, what does it look like for us to cry out mightily to God? Perhaps a good place to start is just pausing in the middle of the day, around 12:15, to join me for midday prayer. If you're able to do that, I encourage you to close the door of your office, step away from your desk, plug in, tune in, and let's spend some time praying and worshiping and crying out mightily to our God. Hope to see you then.